Welcome to Bay Area Art Beat. What a pleasure to be at the Oakland Museum speaking to Peggy Monahan and in the midst of the Burning Man exhibit. Please tell us about it.
Sure. The exhibition is No Spectators, The Art of Burning Man, and it was originally created by the curators at the Renwick Gallery of the Smithsonian American Art Museum. And we were excited to bring it here because we can bring all these artworks home. So much of this art was created by folks in the Bay Area, and in fact, that's reflective of the fact that Burning Man started in the Bay Area. The first burn was on Baker Beach more than 30 years ago. And even though Burning Man is an internationally attended festival event, so many of the participants and so many of the artists are from the Bay Area that it was pretty amazing to look down the list and see how well the Bay Area art community was represented in this exhibition.
Would you like to say something about the works in the gallery?
Oh, sure. The exhibition has both art from Burning Man and also a section about the history of Burning Man. The art pieces include large pieces of illuminated art like the Hebe Kozo pieces by Hebe Kozo behind us, or some giant Truman Lumen, giant shape-changing mushrooms by Fold House. Both of those are local folks, local groups. There are mutant vehicles, which are sort of the art cars that roam the playa at Burning Man, and including the Capitol Theater, which is created by an Oakland artist collective named 5 Ton Crane that has an entire silent movie theater on wheels. And the Paper Arch by Michael Garlington and Natalia Bartotti that is covered with collaged photography. Oh, wow. That piece is so finely detailed, you could look at it for hours, I think. Just even counting the number of owls or eyeballs on it. Yeah. There are also the outfits that burners wear. Yeah. Because part of the art that the burners bring to the event is themselves. Yeah. And also tons of jewelry and pendants that artists make to bring as gifts that they give to each other on the playa.
This is, I came to the press opening and I'm just at a different angle, and even just looking at these pieces from one way rather than another, I mean, I really want to encourage people to come and spend some time here.
Absolutely. The name No Spectators is there because so much of this art is participatory. In an exhibition, mostly in the museum, we tell you what things you can touch because those things are rare. Yeah. But in this exhibition, you can touch most of it.
Oh, that's great.
There's most of the pieces of the artwork is stuff that you can interact with. Because participation is such an important part of the Burning Man experience.
Oh, great. This program will be playing the whole month of January. Okay. It goes through the month 3 times a week for the whole month. But is there other events coming up in January involved with the show that you would like to tell people about?
Yes, in January 9th, no. There's a late night, I'm sorry, it's January 9th? Thank you. In January 9th, Thursday night, we have a special evening where we will be open late and where you can come and see the exhibition in the evening and even bring your drinks inside the exhibition and socialize while you do so. Wow. So that'll be an important, a fun time to come.
Yeah, and to see the pieces lit up at night is really amazing.
You know, one of the pieces that we have made specifically for the Oakland Museum is a temple by artist David Best. The temple is a key part of the Burning Man event. It's burned on the last night of the week, and it's all week long. People visit the temple every year, and it's a place of remembering and memorial and deep thoughtfulness, and people leave memories of people and of events for the year, and then at the end of the event it's burned.
Wow.
We have a temple that was built for us by the artist who really began the tradition of building temples at Burning Man, because he's just from Petaluma, artist David Best, and that temple is outside, and so it's visiting it at night is particularly spectacular because seeing it lit up, it's a really intense, intensely detailed wooden structure.
Yeah, it's extraordinary.
And people are invited to write messages directly on the temple of memory
wonderful.
of people and of things that they want to memorialize, and also write on little wooden cards.
Oh, great.
We are going to, we can't burn our temple because it's in our garden and our outside patio, so it's essentially on a roof of other offices, so we can't burn it where it is. But instead what we're going to do is package up the wooden pieces that people leave, we're partnering with the Burning Man Project to take those out to the playa and burn them after.
Oh, great. What's going to happen to the temple?
Well, it's going to be outside all winter long, so
we'll see what happens.
So we're not sure, but we're definitely going to honor the memories that people leave in this.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Oh, I wanted to ask you about upcoming events and things,
sorry.
but people can check it. Just know that when you make a trip to the Oakland Museum, you're going to love the show, and you're going to love what's coming up.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Yeah. Peggy, it's been a great pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to talk to you. Thanks.
Thank you. And welcome back to Bay Area Art Beat. I'm at the Oakland Museum, and one of the artists who has a wonderful piece in the show we're going to see is with us. Bree, do you want to say something about yourself quickly?
Sure. I am part of an art collective here in Oakland called 5 Ton Crane, and we build art collectively all together, and I'm really excited to be talking to you about the work that we all do.
Great. What do you have in the show here?
In the show, we have a large-scale piece that you can get inside of called the Capitol Theater. We show 6 films that I made with my movie-making partner, Alan White.
Great.
And they're all original silent films, so visitors can come and they can come inside of the theater, they can sit and watch films, they can talk with each other. Sometimes we're here and we can talk with you and show you some things that aren't open all of the time. We have a concession stand, and sometimes we sell tickets for the price of a joke or a song.
Oh, great, great.
Yeah.
So it's still going with barter and exchange, and not barter, but just gifting.
Yeah, just gifting.
Great.
And we have these beautiful tickets that Yuban Lee on our crew designed for the theater.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you done, how long have you done you've been doing Burning Man in the desert?
Since 2004. That was my first year out there.
Great.
It's been many of the years, but not all of them.
Yeah, yeah. And does the collective go there and do the work, or you mainly do the work?
We've done a number of projects together. 5 Ton Crane has brought, I think, maybe four large-scale pieces out there, and then people on our crew do projects on their own or with other crews also. So it's not, being part of 5 Ton Crane is not exclusive. You can go and work on other projects outside of 5 Ton Crane. Or, here in the Bay Area, and then bring it out there. I've worked on projects with other friends and other crews also.
Oh, good. So what other things have you worked on?
The first piece that I did out there was called the Moonshine Saloon. It was a 15 by 20 foot battery powered Wild West saloon on wheels. So we drove it around, and it had a few steps up to the swinging saloon doors with a longhorn over it. And we just built it, a group of friends. It was, we scraped together what we could, and what we found was that it was so much fun to bring, for people to come on board, and then then they're in our drama in a sense. And we all found our own roles in it without discussing it. We just had an alter ego, and it was like a theater in a sense. And if you came on board, you were in the show.
Oh, that's great.
And that experience, we took it out for 3 years. That experience is the inspiration for the Capitol Theater.
I see.
To bring people on board and create this space for them to play.
Oh, wonderful.
And to be in this alternative world, in a sense.
So you did the saloon for 3 years, and then you did the theater.
With many, many years in between. We built the Wild West Saloon in 2005.
Yeah.
So we took it out 2005, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
And then we built this, we finished it in 2018.
Great.
So a lot of time in between.
Is there anything else you're doing besides Burning Man, or is that the main thing, your main art expression?
That has been the main thing for a number of years.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to put together a piece like this.
I would imagine, sure.
We built this in just shy of 11 weeks.
Wow.
But there was a lot of planning ahead of time that we worked on. There was engineering and design, so that we're able to have a lot of pieces cut and made, and we have clear plans. So we're not winging it when we have those 10 and a half weeks.
Yeah.
We're set with what we have to do.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of work that goes into that planning.
Right. Do you get grants, or what enables you the freedom to do this?
We've been extremely fortunate and are thankful to a number of people who have supported this work for us.
Yeah, it's so great. It's the way it should be.
It is.
What are your future plans?
That's a good question.
You've been asking yourself that, right?
Definitely. We'll see what happens. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a couple coals in the fire right now, but we'll see what actually happens.
Yeah, you spend the entire week out there at Burning Man yourself, in the desert, or?
For the years that we bring a project out there, I'm usually out there for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because you need to come and set up, and then there's the week of the event, and then you have to stay and take it all down and pack it all up and take it away. So that's at least 2 weeks with a large-scale project. It takes about a week to set these up. Some people have projects that take longer, but that's about how long we've taken. Although with an art car, it takes less time. It's taken less time for us because it's been closer to finished. There's less setup to do when we arrive.
You do an art car?
The Moonshine Saloon was an art car.
Oh.
The Nautilus Submarine by 5 Ton Crane was also an art car, and I've been a part of several other art cars.
Oh, great. Is this an art car?
So this is an art car in a sense. Because of the weight restrictions on the floor in the Smithsonian at the Renwick, we couldn't put a drive system in it. the floor couldn't have held that weight. We were pretty much maxed out on weight there.
Yeah.
It is a hope that at some point, we will be able to make it drive.
Yeah.
But
what was it like
know.
working at the Smithsonian? I mean, to me, that's, whew.
It was terrific.
Yeah.
We also, you know, the Renwick is an old building, and
Yeah.
there is no freight elevator. There's only one way to load in, and that's through the front door. So we went and measured the width of all of the doorways that we had to pass to get our piece into the room we were in, and we built this to fit that space.
Very smart, very clever. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure speaking to you, and really going back to the theater with deeper knowledge of what you do.
Thank you so much. It's been really nice talking with you.
We'll be back with our next guest shortly, and put this on your list of things to do. So. Welcome back to Bay Area Art Beat. Our next guest, Rachel McCrafty, Rachel, tell us about what you have in the show.
So the experience that I've brought to the show is an interactive area and installation called Gift-O-Matic. And the centerpiece of it is a giant machine that references old vintage gumball machines that distributes gifts. And it also takes gifts in. And you don't have to do one to do the other. It's not a transaction. And so that's the centerpiece of the experience. And then there's also an area that has opportunities for guests to actually do hands-on activities and express themselves and give gifts. So you get to receive, you get to give. And then the third part of that area is an area called the Give Yourself the Gift of Chill Lounge. And you literally get to gift yourself a moment to take some time aside, have a moment of chill, and just absorb what has been probably a really intense experience, because this exhibit is just wow. So that's the Gift-O-Matic experience.
Oh, great. Talk about the idea of gifting at Burning Man. I mean, it's a basic principle of Burning Man, right?
It's a basic principle of Burning Man, and it's really interesting what people do with it and how people receive it. A gift is something that you give without expectation of return, and that means no return, not another gift, not social capital, no expectation. And in our society, that's not a common thing. Very often people are confused with it. They're like, what? It's not a trade. I'm not expecting karma. And it's a little step outside the everyday that what is wonderful about it brings connection, both for the person giving and receiving, in a way that other things don't.
I mean, sometimes it could be a hug or a smile. Or
Yeah.
As we're coming into the holiday season, what about regifting? If you don't like your gift, you give it to somebody else. Or
if you're passing on that experience and truly, like, creating an opportunity for somebody to appreciate something, yay, regifting.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's the continuation of the intention of the person who gave to you.
Yeah, yeah.
And really at Burning Man, it can be anything. I remember it was day 4 after an intense build, and then day 4 of the burn, and one of the best gifts I ever got was somebody washing my hair. I was tired, I was hangry, and they were just like, here, have a moment. And I was just like, this is the best gift experience ever.
Well, the whole thinking about giving gifts and, you know, what somebody really needs, what you can do for them, it's beautiful. And
it really is.
Yeah, yeah. We should have more hair washes during the holiday season, things like, or chill lounges.
I really do think so. One of the things that was just so exciting about bringing the Gift-O-Matic installation to the museum was bringing that shared experience of gifting that happens on the playa into a broader audience.
Yeah.
And then it's fascinating seeing what people do with it.
Yes.
Because this is it's a much more diverse group that are coming to the museum.
Right.
And with definitely much more broad cultures that they're bringing with them to interpret that experience.
Yeah.
And so every weekend there's burner volunteers who come to it, and every other weekend I come in and do special activities, and I get to just observe what people do, and for me, that's the gift I'm receiving.
Yeah, yeah.
Where I'm fascinated with the authenticity people bring, the immediacy that children bring. They are so honest, and it's really great, even when it's not in the frame of gifting.
Yeah.
When they're just experiencing it and what they're bringing to the table and, and how they're interpreting it.
Now, what brought you to where you are now?
We got an amazing friend group. 20 years ago, when I moved up to the Bay Area, I landed in this amazing community that landed me with no short order into building projects at NIMBY, building projects in people's garages for Burning Man, contributing to menus that would last, building costumes galore, and camping in a village called the Blue Light District, which is a very old established camp. And being part of that community was so different than where I had come from, because they really made space for me not to just be a contributor, but also to be an individual in everything that I did.
Yeah.
I could just be me. I didn't have to be the person who takes care of, you know, XYZ thing or builds XYZ thing.
Yeah.
And that was really transformative.
Yeah.
And allowed me to be brave as an artist in a way that I hadn't been before.
Yeah. What's a NIMBY build?
So NIMBY is an art space that started out in Berkeley, and it's one of the, you know, core original industrial art spaces. NIMBY, of course, stands for not in my backyard. And their last home in Oakland was down by the Coliseum, and I had friends who needed to build things and needed costumery and things like that, and found myself in a warehouse at midnight building a giant pizza oven chariot for Roman centurions. And there I was. and that community was amazing. It's really unfortunate that they recently had to leave the Bay Area because they got green zoned out. And it really is a great loss for Oakland.
Yeah, it puts forth the projects we have to keep working on. And the zoning and those things are really big, and to keep people here. I mean, one of my passions is to keep people here.
Yeah.
So anything else coming up for you?
Yes. We're looking at the next home for the Gift-O-Matic. And looking at petitioning, bringing it to the regional burn in Santa Cruz, and potentially bringing it into other public venues so that people can play with the idea of it and also experience the content of it and have that be accessible. And really, I'm not sure what my next big project is going to be. Unfortunately, my studio, which had my collection of tools and art of 20 years, burned down in August.
Oh, no.
At the Moxie Industrial Art Space warehouse fire, which fortunately nobody was hurt because it was an extremely well-run space, and still is. But I'm at this place of opportunity with it now, where I'm like, what will be my next thing? What mediums will I return to? What will I step away from? What might I go into and explore? The things that most excite me, though, are always going to be building in community, and really the things that capture my imagination are things that create opportunities for people to express themselves, have agency, and connect with each other.
Rachel, thank you.
Absolutely.
Really, good luck with whatever it is. I'm sure it's going to be exciting. Thank you so
I'm
much.
excited.
Yeah, I can see that. No, it'll be great. So thank you so much. We'll be back next month. And in the meantime, come and see this incredible show at the Oakland Museum and stay amazed. So